All right, well, peace. First and foremost, man, hopefully the Most High in your house shall bless you all day. By his mercies we are consumed. We're alive in the Most High in your house shall body and two we're naturally alive, man. And we gonna get into this because I kind of had this down the other day, but I waited. We was gonna wait to talk about this today, man, because today's the 11th, man. We gonna talk about again, like with the whole Tower Babel thing and misconceptions, honestly, of that, man. Because honestly, it was really we kind of talked about this before, man. But those people wasn't wicked and things of that nature. They just wanted to do something before the time, honestly. That's why the scriptures always say let certain things have to be fulfilled, or certain things just aren't the time. Like just like it's no different. Pretty much what they did wanted to do was no different from David wanting to build the temple. Honestly, that's really the Most High in your house has a temple, but it's nothing that he's not, that they didn't that's not evil. That's not evil per se, but it just never, because when it says that in Corinthians, man, the Most High in your house doesn't dwell within temples, man. It's just like he's just not. It's saying that he's just not confined. They're just not confined to that. Honestly, well, when we say when the Most High in your house is pretty much your own one accord, so that's why I said he, but really it is it is I don't want to say the Father and and the Son are the same entity. I kind of had a little my bad. I kind of slipped with my tongue with that one, but pretty much, man. My point is being that, that's just really what the temple. I mean, the Tower of Babel was, honestly. That's really just something before the time. Honestly, there's nothing. And later on, Acts 2, that was kind of fulfilled. So we're gonna get into this, man. We're gonna look at this, man. Genesis 11. Genesis 11. Genesis 11, verse 4. So we're going to try to kind of stay in chapter 11 today. It says, Genesis 11, verse 4, it says, come, and they said, come and let us build ourselves a city and a tower. And, and that was a ziggurat too, that tower. But anyway, it's not like what's being because it's like what's really, and I can see where somebody could have that perspective and that that perspective. I can see how somebody can see that, but that's not the case, because the case is the one of the misconceptions that after the flood, they built the Tower of Babel was built, so this in case they can get away if the Most High in your house shall ever flood the earth again. But that's not really the case with that, honestly. I can see how somebody can arrive at that conclusion, but that's not the case, honestly. It's no different than what David wanted to build, the what you call them, the temple, man. But that's just honestly what it is, kind of. But Genesis chapter 11, verse 4, and they said, come, let us build ourselves a city and tower, and whose top is in the heavens. Let us make a name for ourselves, lest we be scattered abroad over the face of the earth. So see that, man. But notice how it says that in the in Genesis 11, it says the children of men, honestly. But this all had to be this all had to come, man, because when Yahushua came in, because it said in John 11 that he had to come get the sons and daughters that scattered. So yeah, sons and daughters of the Most High in Yahushua, sons and daughters of God that are scattered. So that's just what it is. And the Most High in Yahushua, they're that strong city. They're that tower, man. Honestly, like it says in Psalms, and it says you're my refuge. He's like Proverbs 18, what you're gonna get into says he's a tower, man. So that's what that's about, man. Cause let's get John 11, verse 52. It says, and John 11, verse 52, and not for the nation, only, but also that he would gather the children of Yahweh who were scattered abroad. And that's what the point of Genesis 11 is. honestly being one, pretty much one body, one spirit, like one Mashiach, man, and being one. Honestly, that's what that kind of is about. Honestly, looking at through spiritually, looking at it, man, because that's what it was kind of like that Zephaniah 3:9, worshiping in the Most High house shall one consent. But the only problem was with that during that time was that wasn't the time yet. Certain things had to fulfill, certain things had to be fulfilled, and like what we just read right here. Till let's look at this. John 11, verse 52, and not that nation only, but he will also gather together and one the children of Yahweh who were scattered abroad. So see that? Because didn't it say that in Genesis 11, least we would be scattered, man? That had to come at when Yahushua came, man. And the gospel and the witness and testimony, man. That's when, it happens, man. We gotta wait for the Most High Yahushua, like honestly with that. But this is no really different from like honestly like the Maccabees in that aspect of that. There's nothing wrong because of course the temple was going to be destroyed, but during that time period, like your thought process might have been different, honestly. So that's why the Most High Yahshua never got on the Maccabees like that, because it was written that the temple would be destroyed, but during that, this is more of a time period thing, you had to be there. But that's just another story for another day. But let's get to Genesis chapter 11, verse 4. It says, and they said, come, let us build ourselves a city in the tower, whose top is in the heavens. Let us make a name for ourselves, lest we be scattered abroad over the whole face of the earth. Let's get Proverbs. Proverbs chapter 18, verse 10. It says, the name of the Lord is a strong tower. So see that? The Most High Yahshua is a strong tower. And the righteous run in it and are saved. Yep. Also, too, man, like, what does Babel even mean, man? Honestly, it means confusion. And the Most High Yahshua is an author of confusion, honestly. So pretty much, man, like, not saying that those, like, the people at Tower of Babel, like, were evil per se, but, it's just like, he's not the author of that confusion, man. So, like, honestly, because really it's like with his knowledge over man's knowledge, honestly, like, pretty much that's just is what it is, man. Because also too, like, that we are the temple, man. Doesn't say that in John 2 and 1 Corinthians 6. Honestly, nothing wrong with going to temples and congregations. Nothing wrong with that. But that temple, honestly, and at the end of the day, is within you. And that was the point of that. So, yeah, man, hopefully this is edifying, man. So, much love to y'all brothers and sisters. So, peace.